What is extended transactional funding? Now and then an investor may require more than one day to flip a deal. That is the place where extended transactional funding is valuable. Extended transactional funding is a loan which is short term that for most cases can have a term up to 90 days. There are situations that obligate an investor to get funding for an extended period. The following is a list of some of these situations. When you purchase an REO or bank-owned foreclosure, you likely will have to use the closing agent the bank uses. This closing agent will almost never allow a double closing, so you need to close the B2C leg elsewhere and on another day. There are times when a lender will approve a short sale but impose a deed restriction by requiring that the property's purchaser can't resell or reoffer the property for sale for a specified time period. This required holding period can be 30, 60, 90, or even up to 180 days. When an investor wins a property at a foreclosure or tax deed auction, he normally has to pay the full purchase price with a cashier's check at the end of business that day or the following day at noontime. Once the property is paid for and the new special deed is recorded, the investor is on title as owner and can flip that house to an end purchaser. However, this won't happen the same day as the sale. A short-term loan, extended transactional funding, or a hard money loan is required for that holding period for when the investor wins the auction and pays for his property until he closes on the B2C closing. A so-called consecutive closing is actually two closings, the purchase and consequent resale of the property, planned for two separate closings. These transactions normally include the purchase of an undervalued real estate that will be resold for a profit in less than 48 hours or even a shorter time frame. When an investor uses transactional funding, the lender will not require a credit check or paycheck confirmations. The absolute requirement that lenders will not budge on is that an investor has to have an end buyer under contract to purchase the property subsequent to closing the first transaction. FHA rules express that a loan application can't be processed until the seller is recorded on title. Hence, in the event that an investor needs to flip a house, the underwriting procedure for your end purchaser can't start until after you've closed on the property. Accordingly, the loan typically takes from 4 to 8 weeks for the new purchaser to get the loan approval. Extended transactional funding is another kind of loan whereby an investor can get transactional funding to purchase seller A's property and offer it to an end buyer C within the predefined time, typically the inspection period, so as not to risk the loss of his earnest money deposit or EMD. The primary difference between transactional funding and extended transactional funding is the deferred amount of time between the A to B and B to C closings. This extended transactional financing is suitable for double closings that require a holding period before the title to the property can be deeded to an end purchaser.